What's up, guys? ClutchFanatic37 here, bringing you a Hero Mesh 2.0 review. So, long story short, I had made a video about this stuff when I first got it because I was told no posts until May 9th, and I assumed that was just Instagram stuff. And I just assumed videos weren't supposed to be done until the 25th when East Coast Dies does their actual Hero 2.0, like inside the product video. So that's on me. I definitely should have posted a video 2 weeks ago when I first got it to kind of build some hype and give you guys my opinion on it. So that's on me. I'm sorry to everyone at ECD Lacrosse as well as you guys. But luckily, we'll get this out a day beforehand. So if you do happen to watch my video before midnight, you can get my opinions on it. And I assume you're just going to buy a piece regardless. So when ECD sent me this, I was very excited because they just said, "Hey, we have Hero Mesh 2.0 coming out. Would you like to try some?" Or yada yada yada. And I said absolutely. And they actually sent me not one piece but four pieces in this cool little case, which I'll get into in a second. So anytime I get something from ECD Lacrosse or East Coast Dies Lacrosse earlier, they always hook it up. They always send me, a couple pieces of mesh, maybe a shirt and some mesh or whatever it is. And I can't thank you guys enough. That's incredible. It's awesome. It makes me feel a little important in the fact that, I can help with getting the name out or getting the product out. And not only that, it's always nice to see a large company send, people like me, just your average person, some cool stuff. So big thank you to you guys over there. This is absolutely incredible. The case that displays four pieces of mesh, three in my case because I have one strung up, is really nice. I have never seen this or thought of this. And then also on the lid, it has a nice little note. Oh, a cat was eating a box. It just talks about, hey, don't eat the box. That's weird. Girlfriend's cat's ridiculous. But anyway, it just says, thank you for Stop! I'm so sorry. I'm trying to do this video on the damn cat. But anyway, at the very bottom, there's a handwritten note from Greg, which to me it's very touching and humbling, and it just makes me feel really good about myself. The reason being, it says, "Josh, always been a huge fan of your videos. The dies you do now are insane. Keep it up." And then it has his autograph, and then up here it says 9 of 14. For someone like Greg to be able or be willing to write me a hand note letter, wow, that was hard. Sorry, getting a little teary. Craig, I love you. For him to be able actually to sit down and handwrite even 2-3 sentences and recognize me as a person who makes videos and someone who does dye jobs, and he says that they're insane to him, it's really cool and really nice. It makes me feel good about myself and what I do. And it makes me want to push myself even harder because if Greg sees that stuff, then, who else one day may see it. So thank you, Greg. Thank you, everyone at ECD Lacrosse, for putting this together and sending it to me. This is it's really cool. This is one thing that, to be honest, I'll probably keep 4 pieces of mesh in here and hang it up like this because this is honestly just one of the coolest things I've ever gotten. So anyway, aside from the sappy stuff and my slight man crush on Greg, let's get into the actual review. So Hero 2.0 is obviously ECD's newest version of Hero Mesh. It is their third installment of a performance mesh, and this stuff is, yet again, just like Vortex Mesh, changing the mesh game in very good ways, in my opinion. So when I first saw it, and I first briefly heard that this was the limited edition piece, and these were the changes to Hero Mesh with the Anegra fibers, I was a little concerned because someone just said they were the lightest fibers in the world, and usually when you hear light, you think of soft. So in my opinion, and this is before I received anything, I thought that the fibers on the outside were going to be lighter and softer, while the middle one stayed stiffer, which to me, ideally you could pull your channel down a little more, but there's not going to be anything to stop the ball from moving on the outsides. It's going to shake, and the middle part's just going to be a stiff ramp. But, of course, I jumped the gun and thought that, and I'm completely wrong. The Anegra fibers on the outside are the lightest fibers in the world, and they are more rigid, which means when you string up a channel, even if you string up your same pattern, it's going to give you a bit more of a channel in it, which is really nice. I think nowadays there's a lot of people who worry about too much about stringing and channels and whatnot. But what's nice about this stuff is even if you string a generic pocket, it's naturally going to give you a better channel in it, just because the Innegra fibers are lighter and you have them on the outside, even if you pull the mesh down. And not only that, but it's also going to ideally channel the ball into the middle of the pocket where you want the ball at all times. So that having that in a mesh to me is mind blowing. You know, you had Vortex mesh, which changed the mesh completely from a third of the way from the top down, or 2/3 down. I'm bad at math. But anyway, the LTH fibers that you found in Hero Mesh and everyone's come to know and love are still in the middle. It's going to stretch out a little more, which I really like. I'm a huge fan of Hero Mesh in the sense that I can string myself a very tight channel and pound the hell out of the pocket, especially where the channel is. And it's going to give me my favorite pocket I've ever used and my favorite mesh I've ever felt. Because Hero Mesh does stretch a little more than any other performance mesh out there after you break it in, it's really something that appeals to me, and Hero Mesh 2.0 is absolutely going to change the game for me. I actually have a piece right here that I want to show you guys. So this is, you know, I dyed this head up. Greg, check it out. Is it cool? I like it. Anyway, I strung up a brand new piece of Hero Mesh 2.0 in this. Barely stretched the pocket out, and this is, you know, I mean, it's fairly shallow. But there's a channel I got in it. And one thing I know is just running my hands through it is it does feel like the outside pieces are more rigid, and that's something that, you know, you can actually feel the performance differences, which is awesome. So I'll stretch this out a bit more and just try to show you guys the channel it gets. I mean, obviously my stringing and my pattern has something to do with that, but the mesh itself actually has subtly changed enough to actually help that. So pocket's a little deeper, and there's a channel. And what's nice is this unique feeling you get when you put your hands through the pocket. You know, the middle part is still the classic Hero Mesh. You can feel a little bit of rigidity, a little bit of stiffness, and I guess kind of, I don't know, like a rough pattern to it, which I really like. And on the outside, though, as you run your hand through, you can really feel these diamonds on the outside don't move a whole lot. They don't shift, and they have a lot of rigidity to them to where it's really going to just keep the ball naturally in the channel and help channel the ball in the middle. So the Hero Mesh 2.0 is not a huge game changer in a sense that it's something completely new, but it's a subtle change in Hero Mesh that I think is absolutely going to make, you know, anyone else's game a little better, make stringing and your pockets perform a little better as well. And also, it's just overall, I think it's you know, I've used Hero Mesh pretty much strictly since it came out, and Hero Mesh 2.0 to me is going to be just that step up. So here's a limited edition piece. Comes out May 25th. Tomorrow, pick yours up. Most retailers, I believe Gimalax will have it, as well as I'm sure pretty much every retailer out there. It retails for $19.99, so it's not $25 like Vortex, and it's not any more expensive than Hero Mesh is, which one thing I'm still curious about is if Hero Mesh, the original Hero Mesh, is going to drop in price a little bit, or if they're both going to be at $20. I'd assume it drops in price, but I'm not sure. But anyway, guys, I think yet again ECU Lacrosse has outdone themselves with not only creating a new performance mesh, but also, you know, their logo, everything they're doing, the heads coming out this year, things like that, and being able to put two different materials in a lacrosse mesh and actually have them function very well is something I've never thought really possible. You know, Vortex mesh, I don't use it, and I don't think I ever would, but I absolutely love the idea, and I love the way it feels. Hero Mesh 2.0 with the Innegra fibers on the outside that actually are more rigid, and you can feel it in the mesh when you string it up. And even when you stretch it out is awesome, and it actually has a benefit to a stick. So that's really cool. Anyway, guys, another cool thing real quick before we go. Hero Mesh 2.0 will now come in purple striker, green striker, and I think all the other standard colors, which is pretty cool. Love to see some orange striker, but not a lot of orange teams. So Hero Mesh 2.0, definitely pick you guys some up, you guys. You get the point. Hero Mesh 2.0, pick some up when you guys get a chance. I absolutely love it. Greg and everyone at ECD, thank you again for sending me this and the nice love note. I'm going to cherish this and hang it up and probably send you something as well. Maybe a Taylor Swift lyrics in a birthday card. So anyway, thanks guys. Hope you enjoy. Pick some up. This stuff it's the real deal.